All right, guys, this is week 25 out of 52 update on our road to $57.5 thousand of new recurring revenue renting simple websites. If you haven't seen one of these videos before, we try to do them at least a couple times a month, if possible, every single week, where we give you guys an update. And if you haven't seen, one of these, what our goal is that at the beginning of the year, is actually February, we decided, hey, let's see if we can build a book of business up to 57.5 thousand of new business following our own strategies, our own techniques. But I put a few stipulations. One of those was I'm not going to do any of the sales, or I'm not going to do a lot of the things I was trying to keep myself personally out of, because the last time that we scaled up our business, this is back in 2020, I was involved in all the sales stuff, and I completely just burned out by the end of the year. Okay, so anyway, if you guys haven't, go watch the very first one we did back in February to kind of get a little bit more context. And in this video, I'm just going to give you guys an update on what happened this week. We have I have some exciting updates. I am not going to be joined by Francesca today. Reason being is because she's actually in Italy. All right, sorry about that, guys. Just went ahead and changed the mic to the actual mic rather than the computer. Francesca is in Italy for a wedding. She's going to be there all month, and I didn't get to this video until 10:34 at night, so I'm not going to catch her right now. But this week was an exciting one. We actually landed a new deal. We landed a deal that we've been chasing for a while, and I want to talk a little bit about that, as well as some of the stuff that we're doing and some of the things that we have in the pipe. And I'll try to keep this nice and concise. So the deal that we landed, this is somebody that we have been trying to get to work with us, or it just hasn't worked out for like 18 months. So this individual, this deal that we just got, this individual actually started following me on social media about 18 months ago, reached out probably a year ago or maybe 14 months ago, and was like, hey, can you get me more leads, right? This is, by the way, this is in the artificial grass niche. I was like, yeah, absolutely. What area do you want leads in? And the area that he told me was an area that I already had a client in. I was like, dude, I actually can't work with you because I only work exclusively with my clients. So if I ever stop working with him, I'd love to work with you, but right now I can't. I'm under contract, and to be quite frank, I don't want to pull the wool out of. I'm not somebody that's going to go to another guy and be like, hey, if you give me more money, I'm going to switch. I believe in loyalty. I reward loyalty, and I really appreciate it. And I'd rather have a client that pays me a little bit less money that's just on autopilot for years and years and years. And this is my guy that I work with locally, Brian. He is that kind of a guy, so I'm not going to mess with that. Anyway, long story short, I started seeing some posts from this new client or new potential client, and I found out, oh my gosh, he's actually in other parts of the state. He's in other states. And so I reached out and I was like, dude, did you guys expand into other states? And by the way, he actually moved from my city to a different part of the state. Reached out, yeah, we did move. We expanded to some locations. And I was like, I think we could work together. I said, I have to look at some of the areas, but if you're down, I'd love to give you a proposal on working with you. He's like, yeah, absolutely. I send the proposal. And by the way, I was an idiot, and I have a process that I know works because I've done it again and again and again and again. It's made me millions of dollars. It's the same one I've closed literally hundreds of deals on, and it's laid out exactly inside of my training that I built. And I got cute, and I started skipping steps. And what I mean by that is I did not do what I usually teach, which I didn't send him free leads. I was like, he knows me. He's seen enough of my stuff. He doesn't need any free leads. I also didn't do the pre-close screencast, which is something that I teach. I didn't do any of that stuff. All I did was I made a Loom that took 8 minutes, and I was like, yeah, whatever. It's $2,000 a month, and let's work together, right? Thinking that, whatever, just going to hand over $2,000. And I got met with some real resistance, and it was like, no response. Finally got a text back, hey, that's way out of the budget or too much, I think. So right out the gate, I lost money because I truly believe I could have closed this deal at a higher amount. Ended up closing it at $1,500 a month. And also, by the way, I did break one of my rules because I said I wasn't going to be involved in any of the closing of the deals. But this is just one of those that it didn't really make sense to get Francesca involved. So we can, at the end of the year, we can just remove this $1,500 a month deal if we need to prove that we can do it without me. But this is one that was just made no sense to bring Francesca in on because it was a relationship that I had. Anyway, I ended up whatever. He's like, okay, it's too much. I was like, all right, well, let's start at 1,500. Then he's like, dude, you got to talk to my partner, which again, if I would have followed my process, the partner would have been on the phone and we would have done a Zoom call. So then I had to go talk to the partner. And then once I talked to the partner threw a curveball and was like, hey, I actually am not interested in the area that so-and-so, my partner, was interested in. I think we need leads in this other area. So I had to go back to the drawing board. And lo and behold, I ended up having to still send free leads, do the whole thing over. And it took me probably an extra 10 days to close the deal. And I lost $500 per month for the first 3 months because I freaking skipped steps. All that to say, if you have a process that works, follow it to a T because there's a reason that it works. And this is what I teach every single day. And I get mad at my students. I'm like, why are you guys not following the process? And then I don't do it. So it's easy to get lazy. I don't care if it's your dad, brother, sister, uncle, aunt. Do the process the exact same. And I knew this from doing door-to-door sales because I'd done it before where I was like, I'd knock on the door and the person would act super interested and I would skip a bunch of steps and I'd drop price and then I wouldn't get the deal. And I was like, what? It's because you skip steps. And I actually had somebody on a live call today. I was doing my weekly live call today where I do a training. And the individual said to me, he's like, hey, I called this guy, followed your script. I watched one of your free YouTube videos. This is a live that I did inside my school community, the Rank and Run Academy, by the way, not inside my mentorship, my one-on-one, excuse me. And he's like, I watched a free video. I kind of followed it. The guy was eating out of my hand, and he's like, then the guy just went weird on me by the end of the call and got defensive and all this different stuff. And I was like, whoa. I was like, so wait, you tried to sell the deal on the actual call. And this guy imagine doing a cold call, and he's like, yeah, and I offered him some free leads. He did that. He did the process right. He had free leads in his hand, everything, but he tried to go for the kill on the first call. And I'm like, you skipped a whole bunch of steps. You got to finish the call. You got to hop off. You got to send him a lead. Then you got to, let him go and quote the lead. Then you got to do it again. And meanwhile, you got to be talking to him the whole time, overcoming objections. Then you got to send the pre-closed screen cap. There's all these steps that you skipped and you tried to go right to the money. And that's why you lost the deal. So again, this is a good reminder for myself. Do not skip steps. I did squeak out the deal. I should have closed it for more money. I should have got at 2,000 instead of 1,500. And the only reason I was able to close it, I think, is because I am so consistent with posting on my Instagram, which you guys aren't following me, by the way. I post a ton of behind the scenes stuff on what I'm actually doing. Instagram.com/Nick, NICKJAY, Wood, WOOD, if you guys don't follow me. But he's been following me for so long. We have a ton of mutual connections. That's probably the only reason I salvaged this deal. If this would have been somebody I was just randomly chasing, I probably would have lost it, a week ago or 2 weeks ago. But I did sneak that deal. So that's great. We bumped up another $1,500 per month. Also, I will mention on that deal, if you guys haven't seen my video on the multi-city approach that I'm now testing, this is the deal that I'm testing this out on. So I'm actually not going to be building a website with this deal for the first 3 months. The first 3 months, I'm just going to be using ads to test out different areas. Then I'm going to select a city and start building out my website with their money that I own. Okay, that's the whole game plan. If you guys haven't watched that video, go check it out, multi-city approach. It was literally like my last video or 2 videos ago. Okay. Other than that, guys, we got 2 new campaigns that are spinning right now. We've got by the way, that deal was in artificial grass if you didn't pick that up already. And I expect my profit margin, even from the beginning, to be 66%. In my head, I'm like, I'm willing to spend up to $1,000 per month and only make 500. And to be honest, if I need to, I'll go break even on this particular deal, because guys, this one that I just closed, this is a company that has multiple locations. They're 2 young, hungry guys that want to freaking just take over the state, take over the country. And I could very, very easily see, if I crush it on this first deal, this ballooning into or swelling into a $5,000, $7,500, $10,000, $15,000 per month deal, which these are the kind of deals that get you to those goals. These are the kind of deals that get you to 57.5 or 100,000 per month is clients like this. So I am not going to fumble this one. I'm going to take care of them. Even if I have to go, break even or go negative on this first deal, like heaven forbid I chose the wrong area, I will break even just to get that after the 3 months, to get the next 6 months or the next year, because I know that this is a deal that's going to make me a ton of of money and make them a ton of money as well. Okay. Other than that, guys, I have 2 new deals spinning. I have one in Austin, Texas area, not in Austin itself, because I don't like to target big cities. And I've got another one in Arizona, 2 different niches, 2 niches that I have deals currently in already. I'll let you guys know the niches once I land those deals. Those are going well. We have the business owners hooked. Let me tell you how many leads we've had come in on those deals. Those got put up at the end of last week. I'm going to let my app update really quick. I'm going to give you guys in real time an update on these leads. Let's see if it'll load. And okay, here we go. Okay, the first one, oh, this is good. Okay, so the one that we have in Arizona, I've gotten 5 leads so far. I've only had to spend $66, not the cheapest lead cost, $13.30 per lead. But the other one that's in Austin, I've only gotten 3 leads. It's $23 per lead, $69.30 spent, but it is a niche that I'm going to be able to charge more money from. And I think we already had somebody that was interested from, a conversation that we had before, so that we already had somebody previously hooked, and it was like, if we can get leads, we probably have a deal. So both of those look like they're going really well. I need to touch base with Francesca tomorrow and give you guys an update. So 2 deals spinning, 1 deal closed, building out sites that we've recently closed, testing new areas, testing new Google Ads strategies. That's what's going on with my agency. Super, super pumped about it. We're still way behind. I only have 2 weeks left until the halfway point, which makes it sound like I'm never going to hit my goal, because we're still under $10,000 a month, and we're like, hey, we're going to be at 57.5. But I'm telling you guys, it's clients like the one I closed this week, the $1,500 a month deal, that are super hungry, that make all the difference in the world. That could turn into $15,000. That could make up a fourth of my revenue goal by the end of the year if I crush it. Okay. And again, I'm not banking on it, but I'm going to take super good care of them. So I'm not that stressed. Plus we have, again, you guys have seen me talk about this little book. I've got these new ad strategies that are popping off that I am super, and by the what's funny is some of my students, you guys are watching this, you're in Digital Landlords. I have them messaging me like, dude, what's in that little book? When are you going to drop it for us? Because that's where I'm going to drop it first. It is going to be very, very, very soon. So guys, this is week 25 out of 52 update. I will be back with you next week. It is June 16th. I'm going to post this live. I'm going to get this live as soon as I get done, and I will see you guys on the next update. Let's go get some deals.